Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third session of our Avon Leadership Bootcamp. We have a lot of leaders on the call for us today to share some tips with you, and our panel of district sales managers. We're having a couple of technical difficulties, so you'll see a couple of them popping in and out, but they'll all be here to share their expertise with you. So what is this session all about? We went through our leadership orientation, and our last session was all about prospecting and keeping that pipeline filled. And we gave you a challenge again. We've had some successful representatives achieve those challenges. And so today's session is all about, okay, well, you've prospected and you've got them appointed. Now what do you do with them? So we want to talk a little bit about helping you get them onboarded and appointed and trained to where they're going to benefit not only themselves, but your team, and everyone gets a win-win situation. So real quick, we're going to introduce everybody. I'm Gretchen Griffin. I'm the District Sales Manager for District 2867 and 7908. So I cover a little bit of West Virginia and a little bit of Washington State. And I'm going to pass it on to the District Sales Managers and introduce them. So we have Shana Minas going to pop in here in just a moment. She had a last-minute phone call. We have Amanda Bartran down there at the end, Janice Reckley, or Janice Youngblood, and Angela Reckley.
We can converge.
And then we have Becky Nelson with her leader. You want to tell us who your leader is, Beck?
I sure will. We have with us today Executive Unit Leader, Miss Kathy Shields from District 1449 down in the beautiful state of North Carolina.
We appreciate Kathy coming and sharing her expertise with us. And then Christy Alley also has one of her leaders here that's going to share with us today. You want to introduce your leader, Christy?
Sure. We have Miss Carrie McCulley with us today, and she is a Unit Leader Plus from District 1490.
Thanks, Carrie. I know we hear a lot from both of you on Facebook and from your district manager, so we're excited to hear from you here in just a few minutes. So let's talk about who achieved the second challenge. As soon as I find my list again here, we had, very exciting, we had 9 new candidates achieved with the second challenge. So that is awesome. So we have another name we've heard a lot, Miss Tammy Carpenter. She joined us on the last session. She achieved both new appointments, her 20 leads, and the extra credit challenge for having a new candidate. We have Judy Richards. Judy Richard, also from one of Amanda's districts, who also had the 2 representatives and the candidate for extra credit. We have Art Dunks from Becky's district. Hopefully I didn't pronounce that wrong. I'm sorry if I did. Also with 2 representatives and the extra credit badge. And from District 2867, which is my district, we had 4 achievers, 2 that had the 2 representatives and also a candidate. That would be Miss Sandy Holly and Miss Christy Scruggs. So congratulations, ladies. And we had 2 that had the 2 new representatives and the 20 leads, and that's Miss Alice Smith and Vivian Abels, one of our newer representatives. So congratulations. And from Angie Reckley's district, we have Christy Grove achieving, no. She had the 2 new representatives and the 20 leads. No candidate, but she achieved the original challenge. And then we have Miss Carrie McCauley right here on the call with us today from Christy Alley's district, achieving the 2 new representatives and the 20 leads as well. Going down the list to Miss Janice Youngblood's district, we had Deanna Smith with the 2 new representatives and also the extra credit badge for having a new candidate. Congratulations, Deanna. And from Shana's district, way out there in Washington, Miss Rhea Hastings completing the challenge with 2 new representatives and the 20 leads plus the new candidate for the extra credit. And from Shayna's other district, we have Amy Baker, also achieving both both appointments, the list of 20 possible leads and the new candidate. So she had the extra credit as well. And our last achiever on the list comes from Tracy Gaffney's district, Miss Evelyn Wisner. She achieved the original challenge with 2 new representatives, 20 leads, and the new candidate for extra credit. So congratulations to all of our achievers. We have one representative that didn't get the original challenge, but she got the extra credit badge. So Miss Carolyn Swan, congratulations from Amanda's district for getting that extra credit badge in there. So we look forward to having many more on the next challenge, and by the time we get to graduation, we'll have tons of you guys on there. And you're going to see your earnings grow and your business grow. So let's talk a little bit about what today's session is going to be about. You heard us mention the PATD matrix. If you've taken the Avon training, you know that PATD stands for prospecting, appointing, training, and developing. Those are the 4 areas, as a leader especially, that you're going to be more involved in than most representatives. And prospecting and appointing and training and development, they all kind of wind in together. By the end of our boot camp session, you're going to see how all of that winds in together to really help you guys and ladies have the best team and best base for your units that you can possibly have, not just with your leadership, but also with your sales as well. Just a quick overview. We talked about prospecting on the last one, and that's really the key. You always have to be prospecting to make sure that you're filling that pipeline and keeping your own leads, keeping that network of people going for yourself. And you prospect for customers all the time. That seems to come a little bit easier for everybody, and you can find customers anywhere all day long. You can find customers. That's the easy part of it. So you're even teaching your new representatives how to prospect for customers right from the start. And what we're going to talk a little bit about today is also how to teach them and just kind of intertwine prospecting for new representatives right in with that prospecting for customers, because it really does go hand in hand, side by side. They can do both in one task. And then we're going to talk a little bit. You're going to hear, especially our leaders, they're going to share some on what they do with their appointments and trainings to really get those new representatives off to a good start. And why do we want to get them off to a good start? We know that it benefits them, and it also benefits you. Avon has so many exciting incentives, not just for leaders, but for our new representatives to help you support them as they try to get off to this new business off to a start. So when you sit down to appoint a new representative, think about what you want to get out of that session, whether you're doing it face-to-face or whether they've appointed online and you're calling them up on the phone for the first time. What do you want to do with them? What do you want to leave them with? Okay, so most leaders want to make sure that they're successful. They want to create that personal relationship with the person, and they want to give them the tools and walk them through what to do to become successful. And we posted a post on our Bootcamp Facebook group, asked you what you would like to see on today's session, and you'll be happy to hear that we're covering everything that we heard from you. Will be answered by the end of this session. So I'm going to pass it over to Janice for just a moment, and she's going to kind of start at the beginning and give us a little refresher course, and that's going to lead us into where we're going to start out with the appointment process today. So Janice, you want to talk to us a little bit about who ELMA is?
Yes, Gretchen, thank you. ELMA is the new Avon Lead Share program. And defined, ELMA is the Avon Lead Share program that offers leadership representatives who maintain eligibility the opportunity to receive information about individuals who may be interested in becoming Avon independent sales representatives. So, you may ask, how's that work, and how do you become eligible for this ELMA lead sharing? There are actually 5 requirements. Okay? Right now, and you might ask also, what's the reason why ELMA? You know, why did we convert to ELMA from the current lead share program? During 2014, the average lead contract that went to conversion, that means actually became an active Avon representative in the year 2014, 28%. So only 28% of the people that actually became a lead and expressed an interest in learning about the Avon opportunity became Avon representatives. So, to be eligible for ELMA, you have to be a leadership representative that has achieved and maintained the title of unit leader or higher at the close of each campaign's update. You have to have an active Avon account that does not exceed past due 2. You have to achieve a minimum of 2 appointments in the prior 3 campaigns. So less than 1 a campaign in the prior 3 campaigns. And you must begin to become eligible, you must have completed the lead conversion course that's on Avon University. Okay, so who achieves and maintains minimum company guidelines for lead conversion? Right now, there's not a history. So in the launch, we're not worrying about who had all of the requirements. We will review conversion rates because conversion rates are going to come into this, okay? So we're not using historic conversion rates for the launch. We're assuming all leaders have met the first 1 through 4 requirements. How about of course, be in good standing, be above unit leader plus, all the things we just talked about. And you have to be using the ELMA tool. That's the Avon Lead Management Application Tool, which is available to you online or on a smartphone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android phone. And once you go online and you log in for the first time, you can also get the instructions on how to have the lead sharing come to your phone. Okay, what are your obligations? You must agree to the terms and conditions of the lead share program, and this is completed in your ELMA registration. You commit to what service you want, how many miles you want to go, language preferences, but you must contact the leads within 24 hours of receiving them. And you must contain or maintain a conversion rate to be eligible, and of course maintain that minimum 2 qualified recruits every rolling 3 campaigns. So, how does ELMA work? First, a prospect enters their information onto a lead form at avon.com, or there are some other outlets that we have. That lead's information is then sent to a leader via the ELMA system. When the leader receives it, the leader decides to keep or delegate the lead to an eligible downline member or send it back to the district sales manager. A little more about it. An eligible leader who will have the autonomy to make the right decisions for the growth of her business. You will be able to delegate leads to the lead eligible representatives in the first 3 generations of the downline. And you cannot sell these leads. How the lead sharing program works is the prospect comes in, the prospect goes to ELMA, the leader decides to keep it or delegate it. Whoever it's delegated to must contact it within 24 hours. They must continue to work to convert the lead to an appointment. And any unconverted leads are revoked and returned to the system and to the district sales manager after 14 days. Okay. One of the strategies that you will learn by doing your training is, what we have found is a lead contact needs quick response. The quick response is crucial, and it is proven to work. You're going to hear in a minute how much we expect this lead conversion rate to go up. Remember I said it was only 28% last year. The quick response, we just can't talk about how crucial it is and how absolutely that this must be done. In the training, you also learned effective use of value statements, how you should use a script, and you should be able to address objections, and also engage follow-up strategies. All right, so what are the major takeaways from your training that you'll receive? Speed to call is the single largest driver of lead conversion. That means the sooner you get to the lead, the sooner you call them, the better the conversion is, that they become an appointment for you. Another takeaway is calling up to 6 times before giving up to achieve the optimal conversion rates. Properly timed contact attempts and combining the call with email strategies to achieve exceptional results. And there's also email texting and some online strategies. If the first call is within 1 minute, there's actually a 156% chance. I don't know how we get that, but there's a larger chance that you're going to get to the person, get to the lead, and convert it. The second call should actually be within the next 30 to 60 minutes, and the third call within 1 to 2 hours. The rate drops, the rate of conversion drops the longer that you wait to make that first call. And that's why that's one of the reasons for the ELMA system. We want to be able to get the lead to you faster. Everybody's got their cell phone by them, or they've got, you know, some type of online mechanism, whether it be a tablet or an iPad, whatever. Okay, so the ultimate lead response strategy. You just heard it, okay? It is expected to give us a 49% plus rate. That means that almost double the rate that we have currently been able to convert our leads to appointments and to becoming those representatives who will build your team. Is there anyone out there that doesn't want to double their team with the leads that are coming across to you? And if you have any questions about ELMA, about how to use it, any of the strategies, any of that, please contact your district managers or your upline. And thank you, and I think we'll just turn this back over to Gretchen.
Thanks, Gianna. So some important information on ELMA. So time is of the essence on ELMA. It's also of the essence on the Hit 100 challenge. So it's important to know your deadlines. You know, your new representatives that are pending, they only have 30 days to get that first order in to qualify for the Hit 100 challenge. So you want to make sure that you're kind of helping them along. Of course, the whole idea is for them to order in their first campaign. And we're going to hope, you know, when we get off this call today, we're going to equip you with tools and ideas and tips to help you make sure you have that first order when they expect it, to alleviate all those other problems. So real quickly, I'm going to share about the appointment and 48-hour follow-up call, and then we're going to lead into some tips from a couple other managers, followed by the more on the training portion of it from your leaders that are sharing with us today. So like we said earlier, when you sit down to the appointment or when you're on the phone with the appointment, and when, you know, we have online appointments, you can appoint anybody anywhere in the entire USA. So you can build your team. You're not just stuck to your little area that you live in. You can build it anywhere you want to. If you go on vacation, you go to the beach, you can sign somebody up at the beach and they could be on your team no matter where they live, as long as they're in the USA. So you know, that's something that's just been here maybe a year or two. I'm not sure how long it's been since we opened up the online appointments for everyone. So take advantage of that. You know, you can advertise anywhere you want to and really grow your team tremendously by that. Those representatives that have family that live out of state, just a tremendous opportunity. So make sure you're taking advantage of the online appointing. You need to understand the differences between face-to-face and online. All online appointments now are automatically prepay. I personally have told everyone in my district that I've appointed to collect the money up front. It just alleviates a lot of problems. Everyone has their difference of opinion on that, so you just have to think about what's best for your representative. But if they're online, they have no choice. They have to collect up front. I just think that solves a lot of problems. So you want to talk to that appointment about money management tips, first of all. And a huge part of the success of them and you is going to be the expectations that you set for them. So remember, the new person doesn't know what they don't know. So they're depending on you to be their mentor, their sponsor, their teacher, their helper, their brain. Avon provides tons and tons of training and information online. They have videos. They have training courses. They have a world of information on there that most of your new representatives will benefit from greatly. But you're still going to be there for their support, for little questions. Sometimes they just need to ask you if they're doing it right. So, when you sit down and talk to them about this prepay thing and how they collect their money, even if they're not prepay, how they fill out their order form, make sure you're talking to them about, when they put their order in with Avon and they're trying to order something out of the demo book, why does it show a different price? Little things like that, just to kind of set them at ease. And one way you can do that, we're going to talk about in just a minute, just to make sure that you've covered all those bases and you kind of alleviate all those questions in the beginning. So as said, Avon provides tools for new representatives. They also provide fantastic tools for all leaders too. You can go on youravon.com, click on that Sales Leadership tab, and click on the over to the left, there's a menu, tons and tons of information for leaders. You can download the complete upline guide to the appointment book, and if you don't have the new kits, this is the new appointment book. It's gorgeous. I love it. Fantastic for in-person and online appointments. I mean, it has all the questions in it. It has all the up-to-date information. It's a wonderful. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And you can also view or print or save the upline guide that really walks you through page by page and gives you tips on what to say. So if you haven't already done that, I highly encourage you to review that. Another great tool is the flow card. If you've ever been in the field and trained with a manager, and some of your upline leaders will probably have trained you on using this flow card. This is a tremendous help, especially if you're a newer representative or if you're training one of your leaders. You're going to hear on a later session how important duplication is. So remember that everything that you're doing, you want to be able to be duplicated by your team, by your leaders, so that you don't have to do it all for them and their teams, because that kind of gets impossible. If you think about having 10, 15, 20 unit leaders or above on your team, you can't possibly do everything for their team. So while you're doing all the things that you're doing, make sure you're able to be duplicated. And this flow card and these upline guides are a great way to do that, because it shows your downline leaders where you're getting the information from, so that they'll know where to get it from too, so they don't have to feel like they need to remember it all. So whether we have online appointments or in person, of course, in person, when you're sitting down to do a face-to-face appointment, you're going through this appointment book with them right then. But an online appointment, they have nothing. I mean, they basically just sign a contract. So it's very important, especially as some of us have went remote. We've had the opportunity to contact our newer representatives that appoint online. We can contact them more often than we were able to when we were out in the field. And we have learned and discovered a lot during our ventures. Mainly, when they get their appointment kit, they really don't go through it. They're looking for the books. They want to get their books out, and that's pretty much it, 9 times out of 10. So we want to make sure that they know about all these great incentives. Do they know that they get an incentive when they place a $100 order? Do they know they can earn $2,600 with this Get Fit Fast Track bonus? Do they know they can earn a free product bundle when they bring their first person into Avon? Chances are, if you haven't called them and talked to them about this, they don't know. People get busy. They just really kind of condense things down, and skim over it and get those books out the door. And that is great. We want them to get those books out the door, but we want them to know all of the opportunities available to them. So, you know, when you're thinking about the appointment, you got to think about your end results. What do you want them to do? Okay. First of all, you want them to trust you. You want to let them know that you're really their partner. You want them to be successful. So that is your entire goal of that whole appointment is you know, creating that bond with them, finding out why they want Avon. You know, not just, oh, I need extra money. Dig deeper. I'm a huge proponent of the emotional why, because once you connect that emotion with the why, you can bring them back to that. So some of our questions that we got from you online, just to show you an idea, we had how to get them to respond after they've signed up, getting them engaged with you so you can train them. So just an idea of a little difference here. So when you call them up and say, you know, this is Gretchen, you know, I just wanted to call and follow up with you since we did our appointment the other day and see how many books you have given out and blah, 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 blah. Compared to, you know, hey, this is Gretchen, you know, I just wanted to call and see how you were doing on that $300 a month so you can get that prom dress for your daughter so she can go to her first prom. Do you think they're going to call me back a little quicker on the second one? You know, if you tap into that why and keep bridging back to it. You know, you've heard that term before, I'm sure, but keep them connected to why they originally started, because once they leave you, then they go home, they hear those naysayers, they hear people say, oh, I've tried that before and it didn't work, and so on and so on. So you got to keep them connected to why. And even us, even the most successful representatives we have, they have bad days. So, you know, I keep pictures in front of me. Why am I doing this? You know, you have those rough days, so you got to be able to bring them back to that. And then, you know, the next question we got was when they don't answer our phone calls, text messages, or emails. It's kind of the same thing, you know. I personally call, text, email, Facebook. I use every method I can, and you know, it's kind of the same message. Just make sure that they're connected. Make sure that you remember what's in it for them, and repeat that. You know, when you're trying to reach out to them, it's all what's in it for them. You can't say, hey, I need you to place this $100 order so I can get my bonus, because honestly, they probably don't care if you get your bonus or not. So if you want to make it about them, you know, I don't want you to miss out on this $20 bonus opportunity and this free sample bundle. You know, I want to make sure that you get everything that you're entitled to, and we want you to get that 40% earnings on your first order. So make it about them and try that out, and let us know how it works for you. The next thing, you've heard Cruzy talk a lot, and Cruzy's big on setting those expectations. And you know, as I've listened around the country to our top managers, top leaders talk, they talk about raising the expectations, setting those expectations. So if you go into an appointment or you're on a call with them and you don't set those goals with them, you're probably not going to get a whole lot, because they don't know what they need, what you're expecting. They don't know what to expect. So, you know, we talk about a $100 order. You're going to hear a little different story today, but you know, we know you need to have them to have that $100 order, and they need to have that $100 order. I preach to my new representatives when I do my training. I preach a $500 order. You know, I want them to be at 40% earnings, and that $500 order gets them to that $300 to $500 a month that they want to earn. You know, that goes into the statistics of direct sales. You know, you want them to be earning. $100 order, they're not earning hardly anything. So dreams and goals, two important pieces, dreams and goals. The next thing is they got to know how to sell, right? So, you know, you might be signing people up that's never sold anything before in their life, but they've probably shared their favorite restaurant or their favorite movie. So really just kind of setting them at ease with that. You're going to hear a little bit more on that from a couple of the other managers in just a second. And I highly recommend teaching them how to fill out the order form, even if you're doing it online. I do it online on my trainings as well. But, you know, just helping them with the words, how to talk to their customers, et cetera, et cetera. And same way with prospecting. Teach them how to talk to people about becoming a representative. And at the appointment, you know, creating excitement about Avon. Make sure you have all of these flyers in front of you, or if you're talking to them on the phone, make sure you tell them about it. Like I said, they don't know what they don't know. So if you're not telling them about it, chances are they're not going to know that they can earn all these great incentives. And one of them that we forget about sometimes, and our new representatives often don't know about, is the President's Recognition points that they can trade in for rewards. So you can even go on there and go through that rewards catalog with them and tell them to pick out, what kind of rewards they want to get from that catalog. Get them excited about it, get it in front of them, and have them write it down. And then, so once you leave the appointment, you're going to have, the one important thing that you don't want to leave there without is their list of names. You're going to hear a lot more from Angie on that list of names, but we've always talked about 50 names, at least 50 names on that business plan, who you know list, invitation list. The new book actually has a space for 90 names. It's in the back. It's the big trifold pull-out there. It also has a place for them to write their goals. So how many customers they want, how many sales they want, et cetera, et cetera. And another thing I love about this book is it has the steps to success for them right in it. So simple things that you can do to share with your customers, but in my opinion, the most important parts of the appointment is that creating that relationship, getting their dreams and goals, their emotional why, and this list, because without that list, they're going to be dead in the water. I also encourage ordering 50 books with their first order, because they're going to need more than that to earn money. And then before you leave that appointment, you want to talk to them about those new representative training courses, and then you want to schedule, whether you're on the phone or in person, you want to schedule that 48-hour call. I'm going to call you in 2 days, or you can have them call you even. And then you want to schedule that next training where you're going to talk to them before they do their first order. And that is really going to ensure that they have what they need to get those hit 100 incentives, and that they're not going to order something that's going to short them or just miss that. You want to make sure that they go overboard. You can hear more in a minute, so I don't want to talk too much on that. And just the 48-hour call is really just checking in on them, making sure that they're doing the things that they need to do, and it's kind of like a expectation check. You told me you wanted this. You need that $300 by next month for your daughter's prom dress, whatever their reason is. So just talk to them a little bit about setting up their Avon store. You can go right down the flow card. It talks you through everything. One opportunity a lot of our people miss is sending out that grand opening email invitation from their web office. Avon offers a 20% discount to their customers for direct delivery orders. All they need to do is send out a grand opening email. It doesn't take off of their percentage. It doesn't take off of their earnings. Avon offers that to their customers. So just make sure your new representatives know about that. Find out how many brochures they've given out. How many times have you talked to a new representative and they say, oh, I don't have any orders this time. And you say, how many books did you give out? And they say, well, 4. The rest of them are still sitting here on my living room floor. Has the living room floor bought anything? No. So think about it. If you do that 48-hour call, that gives them enough time. You can say, hey, this is what you told me you wanted to do, so you need to who can you give those 5 books to that you have laying on your living room floor? That's your check-in point. You want to get to them plenty of time before they do that first order. So, talk to them about how many people they've sent that opportunity video to, or how many people they've talked to about becoming a representative. Overcoming objections is a small part of that, but usually at that point you don't have a whole lot. And then make sure you've talked to them about the incentives again, that Get Fit bonus. $2,600 is a really good motivator. For me anyway, for anybody who likes money and has bills to pay, it's a pretty good motivator. And then you want to give them positive feedback. You don't want to tell Albie, get those 5 books out there, but great job on getting those 4 books out there. I bet you can get those 5 books out there in no time. And then after you finish that call, you want to just set up another time to do their first order call training. And you really want to get that in before their first order, maybe a couple of days before their first order, depending on how much time you have. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can make sure that first order is everything that you need and that they need. So right now we're going to talk a little bit about getting them from that appointment with some set goals and set homework assignments that they can do to really get their business moving forward. So we're going to switch over to Amanda right now, and she's going to share a little tip with you.
Thank you, Gretchen. All right, so let's talk about the fun stuff. So you got him appointed, you met with him in person, or they self-appointed online, and now you're doing your follow-up, you're doing your first training with them, and you really want to get them engaged in their business early. So I'm going to share a couple of flyers with you guys, hopefully. That one and that one, there we go. Okay. So let's talk about the daily care collection. This is a great way for you to engage your representatives right away in selling. Unless they were a helper or they were a great customer and they're super familiar with Avon, they're probably a little nervous about trying to sell from the catalog. It's a large catalog. I think all of us, when we go through the catalog, we're excited about how much is in it and how much we can sell from it. But to a new representative, that can be pretty overwhelming. The daily care collection kind of slows that down for them and gives them things that they can talk about, because it's things that everyone uses, whether you're with Avon, whether you buy Avon, or whether you're new to Avon. You use all of these products. It's shampoo, it's lotions, it is body washes. It's all the things that are easy to talk about and easy to sell. So it's a great way for them to ease into that selling. And they get to do that in their first campaign. So you go through the appointment with them, you do your training, you teach them a little bit about selling, and then you show them this flyer and you say, I'm going to make it really easy for you in your first campaign. You can offer all of these products for just $19.99. It's a $38 value to as many customers as you want. So now you challenge them. So let me close that and share my next one, which is our tracker. Hope you guys can all see that. So now we're talking about the trackers. And the tracker makes it super easy for you because it gives you all the words to share with your new representative. Words to use like, I'm so excited, I just started my Avon business so that I can buy a prom dress. I want to earn $300 so I can buy a prom dress for my daughter. I have an exclusive offer for my first customers. It's a regular brochure price of $38 in bath and personal products for just $20 and only available this week. Will you be my first customer? And when you look through the tracker, it gives them up to 25 names, but they can do as many of these as they want. So think about that. $20 times 10, that's a $200 order. Times 20, that's a $400 order. Remember how Gretchen was talking about we try to talk to our new reps about selling a $500 first order? This is the way to get them to be motivated to do that. They can start with text messaging. Everybody's well, not everybody, but most people are starting to be more comfortable with text messaging. So they can share those words to use through text messaging. It's not even something that they have to do face-to-face. And then they can post it on social media. And so it gives them the opportunity to hit the ground running. When you have a face-to-face appointment and you're able to hand them their books, you can do something similar by showing them different products in the book. But when it's an online appointment, that makes it even more difficult, because in Idaho, my people don't receive their kits for 6 to 10 days. And 6 to 10 days out, I may have lost all of the momentum that they had at that initial sign-up. This is the perfect way to get that motivation to go and to get them earning money right away. Instead of saying you'll get your kit in 4 to 6 days or 6 to 10 days, depending on where you live, and then call me when you get that kit. Instead of saying that, you say, welcome to Avon, and I have an exclusive deal for you and your customers to get you started. Yes, you're going to receive your kit in a little bit, in 4 to 6 days, and I'm going to follow up with you at that point. But today I want you to get your business started, and I want it to get started on the right foot. So then you talk about the 3-day challenge or the 24-hour challenge, whatever you're comfortable with. And that is where you and your new representative talk about the words to use, the words to text, the words to post on social media. And then you set up follow-up expectations. Text me every time you get someone to go with this, or text me when you make your first sale, or I'm going to text you in 12 hours or 24 hours to see how you're doing. That keeps the momentum moving. It keeps the rep engaged, and then it keeps it keeps you involved. It gives you start building that relationship. And come on, that is the best part about Avon. Of course, we all want to earn money, but it is all about the relationships that we build with our representatives and with our teammates. And this is the perfect way to get that moving and that rolling, so that you are already becoming a trusted advisor and they're having fun. The more times that we can have a rep have fun, the more we're going to see them stay with Avon. So let's talk a little bit more about how you can do the 24-hour challenge. I do through text messaging or email, whatever the representative is most comfortable with, because it's short, to the point, and you can do quick pieces of motivation, or you can coach through texting. And then if you contact in 24 hours and she says, you know, I haven't even talked to anybody about it, you say, you know what, can we have a quick call? I'd like to go over some things again with you. And then you can follow up with a quick call. So it gets you, again, in front of your new representative. It gets you moving, gets the momentum under your new representative so that they're having fun and they're starting to see that money come in. You know, they see, I sold one. That means that depending on where I end up, that means I've earned 20% or 30% or 40%. And they can start calculating that money in their head. And so it makes it real. Instead of saying, go out, take these books, hand them out, and then follow up with your customers, it's real. There's $20 for each bundle that is sold, and she knows exactly what she can earn on that. So make sure that whether you're appointing online or whether you're appointing in person, the daily care collection is something that you're spending time on. You're not only showing them the flyer that you have with you in the kit, but you are showing them where to get that online. You're showing them how to order it when it's time to do it. So those are all the important things, and it gets them moving right away. Instead of just relying on our brochures, it gets them moving. It shows them what the real earning potential is with Avon. So those are my tips around the daily care collection. It's also called the head-to-toe collection. So if for some reason your new rep kind of gets confused about that, there is a flyer that's also called head-to-toe collection. So make sure you know which one is loaded. Now I'm going to pass it over to Shayna.
Hi, everyone. So those are some great tips that we've heard so far from our district sales managers, but I'm going to arm you with yet another great tip, and that is the power of skincare. Skincare is an amazing revenue booster for your business. When a woman finds a skincare collection that she absolutely loves, it's very hard to get her to go anywhere else. She will be loyal to that skincare collection, and she will purchase it faithfully every 3 months at a very minimum. Now, I don't know about you, but I go through a cleanser at least once a month. So you definitely have more than just a 3-month opportunity there for certain items. So I know that skincare can be a little scary. It's hard to speak to. You don't know what products to offer, what's in these products, glycolic acid, oh my. But there are definitely some great trainings that Avon's come out with on Avon University. We're going to have more trainings here on our Leadership Bootcamp, as well as some other broadcasts that we have. But I just wanted to share with you quickly, just to show you dollar-wise what you're leaving on the table by not making skincare at least 25% of your business. So we're going to try to screen share here. We're going to attempt it. So just bear with me. It's coming. Okay. So can everyone see that? All right. Amanda, can you nod your head? Can you see it? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so selling Avon skincare, this is going to help to build your beautiful business. If you look at the first column, one skincare customer. On an average, these are our skincare prices. You have your cleanser for $11, your Proline Eraser, which is your treatment for $39.99, your personal day cream for $32, and then, of course, your eye serum for $30. So that's a total of $112.99, and that's just one customer. So with a 20% earning, just off of that one skincare customer, you've earned $22.60. Now, that's great, but me personally, coming from a skincare background and being within the luxury skincare business for most of my career, I know that Avon has some very competitive products with those other companies out there. So I'm going to do my best to maximize my earnings and really get more than just one skincare customer. So if you look at the next column, that's 3 skincare customers. If you have 3 skincare customers and they're each buying $112.99, that's a total of $338.97 in just skincare, which gives you a 35% earnings, which is a total of $118.64. And that's just 3 skincare customers. Imagine all of your other customers that you have. You have color, you have your home and garden customers, you have your jewelry and fashion customers. So this is really going to maximize your business. Now that $118 that you've just earned, you can count on that coming back continuously, because you've now just offered your customer a great product, a luxurious skincare collection that she's going to absolutely fall in love with, and she's going to be coming back every 3 months. So that is a $118 profit that you can count on at least for the next every 3 months for the next year. Also, look at what those 3 skincare customers brought you. $338, that's rounded up, $339 in sales. So how much does it take to become a President's Club member? We've got $10,000 a year to become a President's Club member. On an average, that's about $400 a campaign. Could you imagine if you just had 4 skincare customers? It would take you 4 skincare customers in your Avon business if you sold nothing else but skincare, and you would hit that President's Club. So look at all of the money that you're leaving on the table. If you feel that skincare is scary, if you feel that it's intimidating, if you're not sure of the ingredients, please reach out to your district sales manager. Reach out to me. I can talk about skincare all day long. It is one of my biggest passions in life. And take your Avon University trainings. It's been a very long time since Avon has provided such great training on skincare, and they've really stepped it up, and they're really showing that, you know, we have some very competitive and some of the best skincare out there. So utilize all of your resources. Make sure that you do go through the new Be Extraordinary book that we are giving out to new representatives. So that way they can go through, and you also can go through and really learn that part of the book. The skincare pages can be found on pages 13 through 15, and it's really going to give you some quick bits on what our skincare is and a nice skincare quiz. So make sure that you're looking at that and you're able to speak to your representatives, because guess what? If you're teaching your representatives to sell skincare, that is going to be more revenue in your pocket because you're earning a percentage off of their sales. And would you rather earn a full earning percentage off of their sales, or would you rather they sell more fashion and more jewelry and your percentage goes down? Because remember, those are only 20% earnings for their items. This is full earnings. So this is where your bread and butter is of your business. It's great. Sell everything else, but make skincare your bread and butter, because it is going to be the foundation and it's going to be your residual income. So more to come on that, but I'm going to pass it off to Christy. So thank you, Christy.
Thanks, Shana. So Gretchen has already spoke to this, and the other managers as well. When you get that new recruit, well, of course, if you're in person, you're having the first contact face-to-face with them as you sign them up. But also, if they sign up online, what if they sign up online and you've never met face-to-face? What if they're answering something that you put on Facebook and using your code? Well, you definitely want to make that first contact as quickly as you possibly can. So go out to them immediately, call, text, and email. But then also, when they are placing that first order, it's so crucial and so important that they have a time scheduled with you, whether it is in person or whether it is, through a phone call if you are far away, or possibly even through Google Hangout. But schedule that 24 to 48 hours before their order is due. This way, if there are any problems, if they're below their incentive, if they haven't collected their money yet, whatever the situation may be, there's time to correct and make sure that everyone gets their incentive and you get your bonus. So now we definitely want to go and talk with Miss Carrie McCauley. She is going to answer some questions for us. Carrie is a Unit Leader Plus in District 1490. She has been doing an amazing job with her new representatives and the Hit 100 Challenge. She has 5 of her 6 needed $100 orders right now for her dream ticket and her room, so we know she's going to achieve that. And she's also an Honor Society member, so fantastic seller for Avon, with almost $1,300 in sales herself in Campaign 10. And her team average order last time, guys, was $188. That's well above the district average. So she's doing something right with her team to teach them to sell at such a high level. She's also averaged 2 new recruits over the last 7 campaigns, every campaign. So she has a 2 new recruit average. We all know that we want to listen up and let Carrie tell us how she's doing it. Hopefully I can get her off mute. Let me try that first. And Gretchen, I'm having issues with that. Are you able to unmute Carrie?
I am not able to unmute Carrie.
Carrie, are you able to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, great. Okay, so the first question that we want to ask Carrie is, what words are you using when you're working with a new team member to get their first order incentive? And then also, how and when are you contacting them, to do that, to work with them to get that first order in?
She's muted again.
Oh, Carrie, you went muted.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I will learn how to use these electronics one day. Mostly I try to work with them to definitely get at least 1 order for each of those 10 brochures that they're going to hand out, being as that the average order is $25. Not only is that 10 customers going to give them 75 cents for each customer so that they pay their shipping, because that's one thing that I hear people say, I'm putting money out of my pocket for shipping because I only had 4 or 5 customers. But they're going to get those 10 orders together, and it's going to be about $250. So that's going to push them up there into that 30% range instead of that 20% range. And when I show them how much difference that is in the money from 20% to 30%, it makes a big difference.
I could see that. And how and when are you working with them on this first order? I guess, can you tell us how you do that when it's an online person you've never met, and possibly when it's someone you have met face to face?
Definitely. When they're online, I definitely try to call them first thing, like you say, within those first 24 hours. And I have been sharing the daily care collection with them, giving them some kind of incentive to try to, like we had that bug guard special in the campaign 11, sell 5 of these and you'll have your $100 order. Anything like that to get them started. I do talk back with them again in a couple of days when they've got their kit, and kind of go over that book with them and set their goals in writing. And then I get back with them a couple days before the order's due to see when, how much we have and whether there's any work we still need to do.
Right, and Carrie, you've been so great about that. When I call your new representatives, I generally hear, I'm meeting Carrie Monday night. Carrie's calling me. Well, they do always know the plan, so you're doing a fantastic job with that. So after that first conversation happens, how do you, when you're placing that order, how do you ensure that they are hitting that $150 mark? Do you have anything that you do with them if maybe they're not getting up there to that 30%?
I just speak with them some more about where they've been and who's got a book in their hand, whether there's any local businesses maybe that they can pair with. You'll find 3 or 4 or 5 customers sometimes in one place. save you on how many books you need to buy, because that's one thing they worry about up front, how much money they're putting out to build their business. But yeah, that's all it is. In those collections, like I said, that daily care collection, if I tell them that I'm going to give them a prize if they sell 5 or 6 of those, a lot of times they're very determined to do that for me.
One thing I've noticed too about your recruits, Carrie, is they generally, you know, once in a while someone goes on hold, but most of the time they've collected. How are you speaking, and when are you telling them about collecting up front?
Before I even sign them up, I try to let them know that the company is changing, that they did used to issue credit, but they really don't do that for anyone anymore. It's very important that they collect up front, because it will go on hold and it will not ship, and then, you know, you've got upset customers. But you know, every other direct sale company out there does that, and when I explain that to them, they are happy to do it. I mean, and then that way they know they're not getting stuck with an order that comes and someone says, oh no, I don't have the cash for you.
Right, right. That's so important, and that's why I can see you're so successful, is that you're bringing it out right from the start. No surprises, no shocks. So what happens if they place the order and maybe they didn't call you or they didn't meet you? They place it and it's $40, and you know, what do you do?
I immediately try to call them. A lot of times they won't answer, but a text message or an email, sometimes they will respond. And just let them know, especially right now with the Hit 100, if they would add on an order of $38 or whatever they're missing, that they will get that $20 and they'll get that sample bundle, and just explain to them how much more money they'll be making too with a bigger order.
Okay, so you're just encouraging add-on sales at that point before the campaign closes.
I don't like doing that, but sometimes it has to be done.
Well, that's what we're talking, you know, worst case scenario. When it's happened, what do you got? You got to do something, right? We want to keep them so we can teach them from the beginning how important it is.
That's right.
Well, Carrie, is there anything else that you want to share with everyone?
I can't think of anything right now.
On the spot. We really, really, really appreciate you joining us, Carrie. You are doing amazing, and we're so happy for your success. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we'll now go on to Becky, I think, right?
That's right.
Thanks.
Can everybody hear me? Okay, I'm getting some nods, so that's great. Well, I am just so excited to have with us today Miss Kathy Shields. She is my executive unit leader. She's been with Avon for 18 years, and this is very much a family business for her. She involves her husband and her son, and she works it very, very hard. Just to give you some idea, she is also a President's Council representative. In our district, she's top in sales increase, and top in recruiting. In the division, in the Falcon division, she is number 3 in sales increase for campaign 10 and number 4 in overall sales for campaign 10. And again, that's in the entire division. She has 311 representatives on her entire team. And, you know, one of the things I love about Kathy is I can pick up the phone and I can call her and I can ask her about a particular representative on her team, and she's got all the right answers because she stays in touch with her team. And as an example of how that helps her business, let me just share with you her first line. Just her first line alone, she has 90% activity. So her first line is really, really pretty. And I know her goal is to get to 100% activity, and she works hard at that. So, Kathy, we'll get you unmuted, darling, and let me just ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Christy or Gretchen, maybe you can unmute her.
She'll have to go up to the microphone and click. There you go.
There she goes. Kathy, thank you for joining us today. I know you have a busy, busy schedule. Kathy has this rhythm and process that she does every week. And let me tell you, this lady works 6 days a week. I called her early one morning, and she answered the phone. And that's one thing she prides herself is answering the phone, not letting it go to voicemail. But I said, "Good morning, Kathy. What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm in the shower." And, of course, I was like, well, why are you answering the phone in the shower? But This is how dedicated she is to her business. So, Kathy, just tell me. You know, I've heard you do so many appointments. I've heard you do your training. I've spent a lot of time over the last 3 years with this lady, and she is amazing. So, Kathy, just tell me, you've got that new representative. You've gone through the appointment process, and she's getting ready to leave you. What's the next steps with that new representative?
Am I muted?
We can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I just remind her to call me when she needs me, or I'll give her a call in a few days. Mostly, I want to make sure that she leaves with a good feeling and that she is actually ready to do her business.
Well, and I know, Kathy, you build those relationships, because you will call me after you've done an appointment and you will say, let me tell you about my new representative. You know about her family life. You know about her work life. And, I mean, that's so important to you, correct? Building those relationships.
Right. I have one right now. It's in the hospital about to have a baby, and they're having to do a C-section with her, and it's going to be a touch-and-go thing. I talked to her yesterday. And also my new representative, Delia, put in her first order of $500 and some. I am so thrilled with her.
And how do you think you attributed to her getting to that $500?
Well, we set a goal, and I showed her what she would make if she had between 20 and 50%, what at each level that she would make. And she went ahead, and she had credit, but she went ahead and paid her order up front. And when her order billed out, she still had like $40 credit left over.
Yeah, we love those representatives who don't complain about paying up front, because it's an awesome opportunity. But well, Kathy, I know when that representative leaves you, you've gone over all the incentives. I've seen you. You know, really, you print all the little handouts. You have all of those ready. So, do you put together like a welcome packet for that new representative?
I've been working on a new one right now. The one that I have had some of the old literature in it, and so we're changing over to the new literature right now. So I have sent out some, but I really want to wait till I finish my new literature pack because of the new incentives and things.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Kathy, we talked a little bit about your new representative training, but, you know, how do you get to that 90% activity on your first line?
Mostly by staying in contact with them with emails, texting. I also have a Facebook page for my unit. It's called The Busy Bees. And because our unit's called the Busy Bees, because they're out there buzzing, humming, and bringing in money to the hive, so to speak. So anyway, and we talk back and forth from Facebook. We send out little motivational things to the new representatives and also the older representatives. Just mostly I'll get on the phone if I hadn't talked to somebody in a while, and I see, even though their orders haven't gone down or they've gone up or whatever, I'll get on the phone and talk to them, because most of my representatives, I usually try to build a personal, emotional contact with, because I found that if you do that, that person is mostly attached to you, that they are more likely to stay and be successful, especially once I get them to President's Club.
Exactly. And Kathy, I know one of the things you do is you have that calendar set, and you have those days of the week. I know Monday and Tuesday, Kathy is on that phone, and she's calling those representatives. And then, she schedules her trainings. She may schedule somebody 2 weeks out, but she has that calendar, and she knows when she's got an opening. She knows when she can put an appointment in there. Am I correct in that, Kathy? You are very much a calendar girl, right?
That's true, especially on a Monday when it's time to call everybody. And I talk to somebody and they need to be scheduled that week. Then I'll have my calendar right there, and I can let them know right away when I can either call them or meet them, you know, in person.
And Kathy, you also do team meetings and do regular scheduled trainings for your entire line.
Yeah, I like to do one-on-one more than I do group meetings. This today is kind of overwhelming for me because I'm in a group of tremendously talented people who are already in the know, you might say. And so I'm just a little country girl, and I don't talk like y'all do, so I just, you know, do what I love to do. And I'm hoping that spills out on other people.
Well, it certainly does, because everybody knows that Kathy loves her Avon, and she does. She loves her people. She has gone above and beyond on numerous occasions that I've been with her. I've been working with her for almost 3 years now, and she's really come a long way in those 3 years, because now we've got all this technology that we've got to embrace. Correct, Kathy?
Oh, yeah.
And she's really good, though. I can call her, and I called her the other day, and I said, Kathy, do you have FaceTime on your phone? So we were trying to figure that out together. So she tries to stay up to date. So those are things that she can share with not only her leadership representatives, but her entire team. So, Kathy, is there anything else, a word of advice, a word of inspiration that you would like to share?
I have found that being consistent and being true and do what you say you're going to do and be honest with everybody, that is bar none the best advice I could give anybody.
Well, I think those are some very good words of advice. And Kathy, we certainly appreciate you being on today. I will share with you, Kathy tells me I push her out of her comfort zone on occasions when I ask her to do things like this. So, Kathy, we appreciate you. You did an amazing job, and you're doing wonderful things with your Avon business. So with that, we will turn it right back over to Miss Gretchen.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Kathy and Carrie. I was taking down so many notes. Kathy, I'm just astounded. 90% activity in your first gen. I'm going to start following you. Everything you do, I want to know. That is awesome. So what I took some notes. So Carrie shared how I love Carrie's challenge on getting one order for each book they give out at that $25 average order. 250 in sales. That's a great idea. How come we never think of these things? And plus, you know, she just solved another issue that we all hear of, the 75-cent fee. You know, with 10 customers at $7.50, that covers that shipping fee. So some great tips you're hearing. And Kathy, oh my goodness, I like to have a whole page of notes from Kathy. So I know we can replay this and replay it and take our notes. So if you forget anything or didn't catch anything, don't worry, you can replay it as many times as you need to. But I love it, you know. And her final words there is being consistent, which is a huge key, and being true and do what you say you're going to do. Just simple things that anyone can do. You don't need any special skills for that. So right now we're going to pass it over to a very successful district sales manager who I stalk all the time. She's very knowledgeable. She always does well in the area of leadership and creating new candidates, and she's a very good friend, Angela Reckley. She's going to share some inspiration and tips with you.
Thank you, Gretchen. It is my pleasure to be here with you today. And I tell you, I don't know how I'm going to follow all this up. This was an amazing, amazing broadcast. I'm so glad to be a part of it. I know that every person listening to us today is taking notes, just like we all are. We all want to be better. But one thing that has been a theme throughout each of our words has been relationship. That's why we're here. It's why we love what we do. We love to build relationships with people. And each of us came to make money. Every single person listening to us today is here to make money. And I will tell you that the most lucrative way that you can make money with Avon is by starting your own team. And, you know, sometimes it's frightening if you say leadership or recruit. But I want to call to your mind, why are you not talking about this more? You have an opportunity to change people's lives. You have an opportunity to give them a gift that they can support their family. They can bring home the bacon. They can fry it up in a pan. They can do all of that. It is just fantastic. But it's the words that you use that make all of the difference in the world. Your new appointments have all come to you. They want to make money. And at that very moment is when you need to talk with them about the opportunity for them to share the gift and how much is on the table for them. There's two ways you make money with Avon. Of course, we all know sales. And Shana spoke so well about our skincare. It is phenomenal. And it truly is one of the greatest products that we have. But the number one product that we have that you can make the most amount of money on is by you helping others. That's it. That's it. You help others. And I tell you, it's if you say leadership to people, it sounds like a heavy time commitment. And we're not asking you to do that at all. What we're asking you to do is think about everybody that you meet, and you want to think about the people that you're inviting to Avon today, and who do they know who could benefit from an extra $300 to $500 a month. And just ask them that. What if I said to you, who do you know? $300 to $500 a month. Would that make a difference in your life? So how many people today can you ask, would $300 to $500 extra a month make a difference in your life? It can change people's homes from being foreclosed. It can put food on their tables. It can send their kids off to college. It may be able to make them stay home with their kids, give them the ability to do that. You never know unless you ask. And that's all you're doing, and one of the things that I like to say is, we all go out to dinner, and what if you're sitting around the table and the waitress comes over and she asks everybody at the table if they'd like dessert but you? Uh-oh, why didn't she ask me? And that's the way that I look at sharing the opportunity. I want that dessert. I want to, maybe it isn't for me, and that's okay. But I'm going to be offended if you don't ask me if that's something that I want to do. So, I want you to think about the words that you use, right? And to know me is to know that I'm so in tune to the way people say things and how they say them and the inflection in their tone. And I'm very sincere when I say to you, you make 3 times the money by helping other people. The more people you help get what they want, the more you will get what you want. Now imagine this. You walked into your favorite store, and they said, for $15, you can get everything in the store at up to 50% off. Wow. Wow. Who wouldn't do that? If I went into a store and they told me that, I would be coming home, getting on the phone, I'm calling all of my friends, oh my gosh, you've got to go over to the store. Stop for a moment and think, isn't that what we do with Avon? That's exactly what we do. Anybody can come in and open their own account and get their products at up to 50% off. So who do you know who's frugal, who wants to save money, stay home with her kids? I'm as frugal as they come. You show me how I can get a discount, I'm there, right? Show me how I can make some extra money and better my family, I'm all about that. And I'm so thankful that I was given that gift. But what if nobody gave me that gift? People just don't think about it. Oh, did you ever think about becoming an Avon representative? No, I never thought about flying a plane either, but yeah, gosh, now that you've explained it, it sounds like a great idea. Your words, you have to overcome objections. Because if you say to them, do you want to be a representative? No, thanks, I'm great, I'll just buy from you. Do you want to sell, Avon? Nope, don't want to sell anything. That sounds like I'm going to sell cats. I don't want to sell anything. But do you want to come in and make an extra $300 to $500? Do you want to save money on your own products? What if I can show you a way you can stay home with your family? They are very key action words that is going to inspire people. So let's get you started. Open your account today. Who can you help? These are words that you want to teach to your team members. Each person on this call is in leadership, thinking about how to work smarter, not harder. And that's what you do by helping other people. So right now, what is on the table for you today? And I want you to think about the Get Fit, the advanced leadership. We talk so much about it. And I really want you to be a master at that and really think about showing the money. Okay, we're all here to make money. So do you know that right now there's an opportunity for anybody new coming to your team to earn a $124 product bundle, free products. They can sell it, they can keep it. It's a $124 bonus. They can get each person after that comes in, places and pays a $100 order, a $35 check. How many times have people said to you, where's my check? Avon's going to give them a $35 check for every person after the first person who comes in, places, and pays a $100 order. Guess what? It's not out. When you and 3 friends, or your friend and their 3 friends, have $1,000 in unit sales, Avon will send you a $100 check. Your first 4 campaigns, there's $400. Say you go bananas and you have $4,000 in unit sales. You have a potential to earn $2,600. You can earn $200 each campaign for 13 campaigns. I know of no other company that is going to give a $2,600 startup bonus. That's pretty incredible, right? So think about the words that you use. Everybody has that potential. It really is easy. We all know 6 people who would like to make an extra $300 to $500. And I think that we all know a lot of people who would like to be in Orlando. It really is easy. I want you to think about the words that you use. How do you offer this? And, you know, we're here to support you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We really want you to, my analogy to everyone that I talk to is, you know, you don't want to be the only one helping people. You want to show your friends how they can help others too, so you can be a sturdy oak tree and you can build a huge unit. When that huge unit is producing money for you, Avon's going to give you a check every 2 weeks. And those checks are a beautiful blessing in addition to your sales. And you'll say, why didn't I ask people before to come to Avon? So I thank you for your time. Thank you, and we are here to support you. And I'm going to pass it back over to, Christy.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to get off mute there. So I just love that, Angela. I have written some things down that you said that really stuck with me. I'm sure everyone here has their own story, but I would not be here were it not for, you know, I was the business owner and my customer, she asked me several times about selling Avon, and I said no several times, and probably a year later I heard about some helpers that needed someone. They didn't want to sign up. Anyway, long story short, I went to her and I said, you know, can you sign me up? So I went from there, and then Carrie McCulley, sitting here right now today, was a recruit of mine. Who I spoke to about selling, and she told me no. And she was a helper, and she turned that first order in as a helper. So, you know, Carrie, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie, you stay home with your daughter because of your business now. Is that right? Yeah, that's
correct. Sorry, I couldn't unmute.
Right. Yes, you mentioned that, Angela, and I know that that is so important to Carrie. She is a fantastic single mom. So you don't know who you're leaving out if you're not talking to everyone. Thank you so much, Angela, for everything that you mentioned there. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, Shayna calls me the mayor of Google Drive. Earlier Gretchen was talking about, and so was everyone else, talking about how can we remember, how can we connect. Even Kathy Shields mentioned how can we know what they need and what they want and really care about them and make it about their needs. And one thing I do is for my people who are potential recruits, there's a sheet, and for my people who are representatives already, there's a sheet. And if somebody says my husband's in the hospital, I try to make sure and write that down. If somebody says my son got hurt, I'm going to have to wait till next campaign to place their first order, I want to remember that her son got hurt. I don't want to call her and just ask her where her order is. I want to be able to know what the situation is. So Google is free. Go to Google Drive. You can use Google Sheets, and you can simply jot down really quick notes with dates, and then all you got to do is pull up a list. Easy peasy. So just wanted to mention that. And now we have come to the end. We definitely want to talk about the challenge for this time. So for this time, we're going to really hone in on getting that first order of $100. So your challenge is to have between now and the next broadcast, one new recruit who places their first order of $100. One new recruit who places their first order of $100 or more. And you'll need 20 leads because we've got to keep building, right? Got to keep getting more. And we will have a challenge this time. So exciting. So this is going to help you if you have missed one. The challenge is going to be you need one new candidate, so one new person who has recruited their first person, and their first person needs to have placed the order. So they go from being a pending candidate to a candidate who has an order now. So they're an actual candidate. That's your extra credit for this time, and it can help you make up for one that you may have missed. So we are very excited about this. You can rewind, replay if you need to hear all that again. And I will go back to you now, Ms. Gretchen.
Oh my goodness, thanks for sharing that challenge. And I just have to say, if you're ever offering dessert, please do not leave me out. So make sure you ask everyone. So I think the bottom line you've heard today is creating that relationship and getting those representatives to make money. You know, they might come in wanting a discount. They might come in wanting to stay at home with their kids. As you're talking to people all around the Avon world, a lot of us came to get a discount on our products, or we came because our representatives stopped bringing us books. But I have to tell you, if somebody would have came to me when I started and said, look at the money you can make with this, I would have jumped on it so much sooner, because I had a good job. I was making decent money, but I hated where I worked. So I was definitely looking for an out. I just didn't know there was one out there. So really, you have the power at your hands to offer this great opportunity, this gift to people. I mean, to me, it was the gift of freedom and less stress, because I was just working 80 to 90 hours a week. I was just so stressed out all the time, and it's just changed my life so much. I could sit here all day telling you all the wonderful things Avon has done for me and my family, and all the things I've seen it do for others. So utilize that first appointment, because as some of you have indicated, it might be the only time that you can get them in front of you. It might be the only chance you have to talk to them. So make sure, we talk about not overwhelming them, but you want to make sure they know the opportunities that are out there and the money that they can make. And perfect time for you to talk to them about how to talk to those new potential recruits that they can get, bringing people onto their team. And just like Angela shared, you don't want to call them, you don't want to call it leadership. That kind of scares some people. So really, it's just, who do you know that could use an extra $300 to $500 a month? Who do you know that's getting ready to have a child and doesn't want to go back to work? We have such a huge opportunity that we can give them. And that goes right back to what Kathy was saying, and creating those relationships and being true and genuine with them, and showing them that you're really interested in helping them achieve what they want to achieve. And the first part of that, just like Kathy said, Becky shared that she knows everything about the people on her team. She knows why they're doing it. She knows where they're at towards their goals. She even knows when her downline are, they're in the hospital having a C-section. You can tell that she really genuinely cares about her team. So I thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day and sharing to help all of our representatives that are joining in live and that are listening to the replay. 2 weeks, we'll have our 4th boot camp session. It'll be at 2 o'clock again on May 28th. And the next session, we'll be talking a little bit more about leadership development and helping you train those leaders that are on your team. And we have some leaders that we already know that are joining us on that call. So you have 2 weeks to complete that challenge that Christy just gave you. So the challenge again was 1 recruit with a $100 order and 20 leads to keep that pipeline filled. And when we say 20 leads, that means that that's 20 people that you talk to about the Avon opportunity. And honestly, 2 weeks, that's 2 leads a day. You could do that easy. Think about what you do during your day, convenience stores, banks, grocery stores, cashiers, and share it with your team. Don't forget to hit 100. That's a huge thing, and know what you need to go to Orlando. I have to tell you, the Rose and Shingle Resort is gorgeous. You will love it. Great event. Our Dreams Come True event was so motivational and inspirational last year. This year they're having 2. It was so popular. So make sure you know what you need to go. So six recruits, or if you're AUL or above, you need 5 candidates by campaign 13. So if you're struggling to get that and you want to go to Orlando, contact your upline or your district manager. We'll definitely partner with you to help you do that. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day, everyone.